Okay, we're moving into our second unit. We're going to be dealing with rational functions, rational equations, rational graphs, all good things. But we're going to start out with just our rational operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So today we're going to start with multiplying, because oddly enough, it's easier than adding and subtracting. The last chapter we talked about rational roots for our polynomials. A rational number is anything that can be written as a fraction. So our rational functions are fractions, okay? So what we're going to start with is a little bit of a flashback into fractions so we can understand what today's mini lesson is about. So let's say I gave you the example 7/15 times 9/14. Okay, we're going to multiply our fractions together. 7/15 times 9/14. If we were to multiply these together, we would get 63 over 210. But as always with our fractions, we want to write them in, we want to reduce our fraction, right? We don't want anything to be in common, numerator to denominator. So I'd have to say, all right, 63 and 210, what are they both divisible by until it's fully reduced? But there's an easy way that we can look at it. So we know 7, that's 1 times 7. 15, that is 3 times 5. 9 is 3 times 3. And 14 is 2 times 7. Well, if we're multiplying fractions, we multiply numerators to numerators, denominators to denominators. So we're just going to multiply straight across, which ends up giving me 7 times 3 times 3 divided by 3 times 5 times 2 times 7. Now we can see what they have in common, but we don't have these larger numbers like 63 and 210. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so those reduce to 1. They're no longer there. They're reduced out. 3 divided by 3, and now I'm left with 3 over 5 times 2, which is 10. Okay? We're going to do the same thing with our rational expressions. We're going to start out more basic, where we are in factored form, and then I'll give you another example where we have to actually factor before we can simplify. So you'll understand as we get. All right, so as we take a look, here is my example. So I'm going to have x plus 8 times x plus 3 divided by x plus 4 times x plus 9. And I'm going to multiply this to x plus 9 over x plus 3. So just like we saw with our our fractions, okay, integers, numerical there, we're going to do the same thing. So instead of multiplying this all together and then simplifying, we're going to simplify, then multiply. So x plus 9 and x plus 9. One's in the numerator, one's in the denominator. So this is really x plus 9 divided by x plus 9, which is 1. So it simplifies. Then I have x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. That reduces to 1, so it simplifies. And now I'm left with x plus 8 divided by x plus 4. Okay? These are fully simplified. Don't fall for the trick that 8 and 4 can reduce. You cannot reduce just the 8 and the 4. When we're connected with a plus or minus sign, those are grouped together and you cannot split your group. Okay, so don't split the group when we're reducing. So my solution is x plus 8 over x plus 4. Okay? So if you have something that's in the numerator and in the denominator, you can go ahead and reduce that to 1, multiply the remaining pieces. Okay, let's look at one where we have to factor. All right, let's do b squared plus 9b plus 14 divided by b minus 8 times b plus 3 divided by b squared plus 5b plus 6. So at first glance, we got a lot going on, and there's nothing in common, so there's nothing I can reduce. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and factor my quadratics and see what happens there. Okay? So, what multiplies to 14 to equal 9? That's going to give me a v plus 7 and a v plus 2 divided by v minus 8 times, I've got my v plus 3 here. What multiplies to 6 and adds to a positive 5? That's going to give me v plus 3 and v plus 2. Okay, so now that I have it factored, now I can reduce. So I have my v plus 3 divided by my v plus 3. That reduces to 1. V plus 2 divided by v plus 2. 1 in the numerator, 1 in the denominator. That reduces to 1. And I'm left with v plus 7 divided by v minus 8. And that is how we simplify our rationals with multiplying. Let me know if you have questions. Good luck!